Wow, this situation is getting ridiculous as Shi Davidi, the most notable Blue Jays reporter there is, has broken the silence on Juan Soto to the Toronto Blue Jays. We're going to break down exactly what he said, discuss what it can mean going forward as this saga of Juan Soto to the Jays and just Juan Soto in general is coming to a close very soon. But things are really starting to pick up. We're going to break all that down, discuss what it can mean going forward, as well as a former Blue Jay, Danny Jansen, he has signed with an AL East team. So stay tuned for all that in this episode. But before we get into it, folks, hit that subscribe button. If you're a part and you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed, and you're enjoying the daily Jays content, make sure to hit that button. We're working hard, getting every piece of news out for you guys. Quite frankly, this situation is getting absolutely absurd right now. So hit that subscribe button. Let's dive right into it. There's a million things going on, but I wanted to get this video out. Shi Davidi dropped an article about 5 minutes ago as of the time of recording, and we obviously had a video earlier today kind of doing our daily roundtable of Juan Soto news. We'll probably have one for you again tomorrow morning regarding just updated info with Juan Soto. But all these reports that we discussed earlier, obviously Jeff Passan had a little bit to say, which we'll dive into again here, were focused on, John Heyman and these people like that, not specifically the Toronto Blue Jays. Shi Davidi, the most notable Blue Jays reporter, has come out and revealed some interesting details. Now, don't get your hopes too high, but it is very encouraging, and what he has to say really brings back flashbacks and memories of Shohei Ohtani last season. So let's set the stage with this. We know that yesterday, according to Jeff Passan, all teams made an offer to Soto. They're all still in. A decision will be made over the weekend in all likelihood. We know that. That's old news. Shi Davidi just dropped an article. The Blue Jays remain in on the Juan Soto hunt as winter meetings near. And let's take a minute to preface this. When Shi Davidi and Ben Nicholson-Smith, drop articles like this, especially regarding Juan Soto, you obviously want to pay very close attention. They are the most tuned-in people, specifically regarding the Blue Jays, and they've been a little bit hesitant on speaking out in this situation because they haven't, Ben Nicholson-Smith and Aaron Zwelling haven't been super convinced that the Jays are actually going for it. They think the percentage is very low. Shi Davidi comes out, and I was expecting this article to kind of pertain some information surrounding, hey, probably not going to happen. The chances are very low, but they're still going for him. It did not take that tone. And let's dive right here. With the end game, near as next week's winter meetings loom, they remain on the short list of teams vying for the franchise's altering slugger services, according to an industry source. So let's start with this. Shi Davidi's industry sources are, of course, as locked in as they get. So as of right now, Soto has not made a decision. We saw John Heyman come out yesterday and say there are no favorites at this moment for Juan Soto, and this confirms this. So the Jays are among the final teams, and we kind of knew that, but hearing it from Shi Davidi is very encouraging. So the Jays are still in on him. If he hadn't made his decision and the Jays were out, or, they declared the Jays out, then, of course, he wouldn't have came out with this article, or he wouldn't have said and worded it in this manner. So that's the first bit of the, tidbit here. And then he goes on to say, and this is the most intriguing part to me, and I want to dive into this in depth here. To a degree, only Soto truly knows. The Blue Jays are still in the mix. Their stance is described as aggressive and angst, of course, meaning that they're really going for it. They're, really chewing at the bit. If not the expectations the Blue Jays experienced a year ago when they also threw their best pitch and then awaited Shohei Ohtani's call is back. And again, we're at the point where we can overanalyze some things like this, but basically what he said here is that according to his sources and the people he's talking to directly in the industry surrounding the Toronto Blue Jays, their, angst, their desire to get Juan Soto is just like it was with Shohei Ohtani, meaning they are offering a ton of money. They are doing everything in their power to get Shohei Ohtani. And this last little sentence here, or to get Juan Soto, sorry, like they did with Shohei Ohtani. The last little sentence was interesting. When they also threw their best pitch and then waited Shohei Ohtani's call is back, meaning they are clearly going absolutely all in for Juan Soto at this juncture. And this is the pretty big news because, again, when you hear an article from these guys, my first assumption would be, hey, they're probably going to be very conservative with the way that they go about reporting this. They'll say, hey, like Ben Smith has, the Jays are in on Juan Soto. They made their offer, but they're probably not favorites. We've seen a ton of articles saying they're probably not going to land the star. They're probably not going to do this. They're probably not going to get him. They're probably not going to do that. But this is a different one. They're saying they're as aggressive as it gets, and they're feeling the exact same sentiment as they did when they almost got Shohei a year ago. And that, yes, they didn't get Shohei, but they were the runner-up. And according to some reports, he was going to be a Jay until the Dodgers matched the Jays' $700 million offer in the final minute. And this is the most interesting part for me, is this right here. Again, it seems, and according to Shi Davidi, they're going all in here. And the tone used in this article presents some optimism for Blue Jays fans. And he also goes into how it's actually going to be done. So in that way, the deferral structure can help pay for itself. Now, there are some rules in the CBA around how that money can be invested, but clever money managers should be able to generate a surplus, adding to the ways a club can leverage a superstar's contract beyond increased sponsorships and marketing partnerships. Among the reasons why a Soto deal won't necessarily preclude an extension for Vladdy. And if you actually, and I highly recommend, go check it out. It's a Sportsnet article from Shi Davidi. The whole article, after he says Jays are going all in, is describing how they're going to do it or how they would do it. And it's basically through deferrals, how they have a bunch of different ways that they can make, money on this deal. Of course, 700, 800 million. But if this is the way I'm reading this, it's almost like, and again, you're a Sportsnet mouthpiece, Rogers mouthpiece here. It's almost like they're setting it up to saying, hey, if they drop $800 million on Juan Soto, this is how they're going to do it. They're going to defer a ton of the money. And if you actually read the article, there is a ton of different, it really dives into the depths of how it's going to be done with deferrals, with marketing strategies, with deferring all this money. And it becomes super, super intriguing because it's almost like, and again, I'm speculating here, of course, they're setting up for, he basically, instead of shutting down the Juan Soto rumors, he is saying how the Jays could actually get it done, which is super interesting. And someone quote tweeted this tweet right here and said, is Shi Davidi finally being positive, giving some optimism to Jays fans? And that's almost how I'm reading it in this moment. It is super intriguing and it's interesting. I think if you're a Jays fan, you have to be encouraged by this. There's nothing in this article that shut it down. There's nothing in this article that said Soto isn't considering the Jays or that the Jays aren't finalists or that the Jays are on the outside looking in. The most notable reporter in Jays land said, hey, they're going for it the same way they went for Ohtani, and this is how they can get it done, through deferrals. And as MLB Network John Morosi first mentioned, the Jays also met with Corbin Burns. We'll have another review on that, but Shi Davidi confirmed that. In the meantime, the Blue Jays sit in the murk, taking a big swing, waiting to see if they connect. And if that doesn't give you, not chills, obviously, because it's a free agent signing, but the way I read that, the way that this article, and I'm curious to see what you all think in the comments, because leave it down below, because I'm very intrigued here. The way this article is being phrased, the way this article is being worded, all lends credence to the fact that, hey, things might be on the upswing for the Jays and Juan Soto. The tone, the verbiage, everything he's saying. He's giving reasons why the Jays can do it. He's saying the Jays are going in like Shi Davidi, or like Shohei Ohtani, sorry. Now, as final says, as they wait in the murk, taking a big swing, waiting to see if they connect. It's optimistic. I think I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm curious to see what you all think in the comment section down below. And quickly before I wrap up, shout out to Danny Jansen, who signed a 1-year, $8.5 million deal with the Rays. He gets a nice payday. There's a mutual option between the team and the player in 2025. So it's going to be, or in 2026, the year after next year. So shout out to Danny Jansen. But I just wanted to throw that in there. He's not going to be a Blue Jay, but they're going to be playing him in the Trop. I guess not the Trop. They're going to be playing him in a minor league park because of course, what happened to the Trop. It's going to be interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to leave you with this right here and just soak it in because Soto could sign any day, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Maybe they won't get Soto. I think they're going to get somebody big. In this article, the wording of it is very intriguing. Let me know what your thoughts are. We'll see you guys later.